Good afternoon. I am the Public Relations Officer, Nigerian Security Service, Enugu State Command. My name is Chief Superintendent Denny Manuel Iwichukwu. For about 3 days now, our surveillance men got the information that there's fire outbreak in this locality known as Amoji Nike in Enugu State. The commandant of Enugu State Command, Commandant Biafra, mobilized our men to the scene to ensure the safety of life and property. And coming to this place, a lot of things were discovered. It was discovered that the management of the school, Caritas University Enugu, engaged the services of water drilling company to drill a borehole for the school. And as the water drilling company were going on, as they have gotten about 1,000 feet down the earth, and they discovered the gas emission, and the company quickly pulled out their machine and reported back to the school management. And the school management eventually also contacted the safety agencies to come to their rescue. The fire services here, the Enugu State Fire Service, the Federal Fire Service, the NEMA, the SEMA, the Civil Defense, the NESRA, and the DPR, and so many other groups were here trying to put out this fire. A lot of thousands of liters of water and the chemical has gone into this fire, yet the fire refused to abate. It was discovered that it's been suspected that the water is coming from natural oil gas deposit beneath the ground. Since NNPC came here and confirmed that there is no pipeline network.
Dr. Ba, you are a maritime lawyer, but you're also an oil magnate. And so you come from that perspective when you say that you want Enugu State registered as an oil-producing state and, you know, of course, all the benefits that accrue from that. But at the moment, that's going to be a tall order. How are you going to go about that, especially given that you're going to require the cooperation of the federal government in that regard? And if the results of the presidential election are to be believed and taken as such, that will be now an opposition party to yours at the federal level. How will you do that?
Yeah, I think that, by the way, I'm pleased to inform you that Enugu State is already designated as one of the oil-bearing and producing states in the country. We became designated in January. And this is due to the oil field that we have co-owned with Anambra and Kogi. So that's the OPL, what used to be OPL 916, which is now currently OML 155. We're going to create our energy and mineral resources sector. And that was essentially because there are also other fields, other gas fields that are exclusively owned by Enugu State. And we believe that those fields should be explored and be, obviously produce gas. And in terms of collaboration with the federal government, I mean, across all the presidential candidates, one of the things that they all spoke about strongly is the issue of restructuring. And indeed, we believe that that promise is going to be kept, whoever, at the end emerges as the president of this country. There are ripple effects, the creation of ancillary industries, that would flow from just the production of gas. And then, of course, the processing of the gas too, where you process the natural gas to liquefied petroleum gas and all that. A lot of companies that you can set up just because gas is being produced in your states, the plastic industry, the fertilizers, the byproducts, and all that. So there is indeed huge benefits in making sure that the other oil fields that are exclusively owned by Enugu State will begin begin exploration and production in those fields. And the
One
good
of the
news is that we have huge deposit of gas. These fields hold huge deposit of gas. And under the energy transition, gas still is recognized as a just energy.
All right. So it is official that Enugu State is one of the oil producing states in Nigeria. Yes, you had me right. One of the oil producing states in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Yes, of course, you know that Anambra State produces oil, Abia State produces oil, Ebonyi State produces oil, and the Oga Patapata of all is Imo State. So it is very clear. And of course, some other mineral resources that are being produced. For instance, in Enugu, they have limestone, they have ironstone, and they have other mineral resources. Likewise, in Anambra and in Abia State, they have other mineral resources. I'm saying this because of some of my brothers from the Niger Delta that we always say that they are being included into Biafran struggle because of the oil they have. That Biafrans want to take their oil. That is why they are being included into the Biafran struggle. I will tell you that I don't think so. I don't think that is true. Because basically, the 5 eastern states now has oil. So it is not because of your oil. It is very clear now. So my question in this video is this. What is that mineral resources that is found in Niger Delta that is not found in any part of Igbo states? That is my question in this video. But then I will allow you in this video to watch how the governor of Enugu State, Governor Peter Mba, said it, and their location, he said that that they are expecting from the federal government for this oil that is found in their state. So please do well to watch it. Then you answer my question. My question remains, what is that mineral resources that is found in Niger Delta that is not in other states? If you know it, do well to drop your comment in the comment section what to think, all right? But then I will allow you to watch this video and then we see.
I would like to warmly, on behalf of the government and the people of Enugu State, welcome you and members of your delegation to Enugu. And you have already taken the wind off my sail when you talk about Enugu being hospitable and welcoming. It's indeed in our nature. Enugu, as you may already know, is one of the most cosmopolitan states. It's a melting pot for several ethnic groups. So we welcome you to this historic city. And your visit is equally coming at a very auspicious time when we are observing quite remarkable reforms in our, in our revenue formula in the country. And given the importance and the significance of the Revenue Mobilization Fiscal Allocation Commission, the importance of your office, because yours not just inspires confidence between the federal government and other tiers of government, but it's also a body that pays attention. And actually, when we talk about putting a premium to accountability, we actually make reference to RAMFAC, because you are all about accountability. And I understand it is in line with that mandate that you have also come here to at least determine things for yourself. Firstly, to establish the allocations to the state and local government, to be sure that they are in line with the indices as provided. I'd also like to just point out that this philosophy aligns very well with our own governance philosophy. One of the first things we did, in fact, the first thing I did after swearing in, the first executive order that I signed few hours, and I think about an hour after swearing in, I came in here. That first executive order is the Citizens Charter. And the Citizens Charter speaks to our accountability, how we must be accountable to the people. And being accountable to the people is not a choice, it's an imperative of governance. So the Citizens Charter is our commitment to ensure that we report to the people on a regular basis all the revenues we're getting from all the sources, whether it's from the Federation account or from our domestic revenue. We have a duty to report that and to also capture them accurately. So we did not spare any time to institute measures, deploy technology to ensure that we plug all the leakages in mobilizing and collection of our revenue. And so we must also then show the people how those funds are spent, and which also speaks to making sure that there is also value for money, that we're prudent in the way and manner we spend the people's money. So it's all about spending the people's money in the interest of the people. And that's an area we believe that your office, the commission, and the values that you espouse and what it's in our own governance philosophy align. So we are also happy to report that since we assumed office, we've been able to mobilize and our domestic revenue, and we've been able to grow that more than 400%. And it's our hope that your indices also would be updated to reflect that much growth in our domestic revenue, and to be able to reflect that. We hope to actually surpass that. The budget we have for our revenue this year, our internally generated revenue this year, is over 500 billion. And we, from the indications, what we're seeing, we're going to surpass that projection. But it's also not just about getting this money, because we know that we cannot also grow our economy at the expense of our common humanity. So a lot of the allocation too are also dedicated to addressing the challenges we have in our social services, and which is why, as you must have noticed, where our development model is all inclusive, making sure we get down to the grassroots. So which is why we are building the smart green schools across the 260 electoral wards in Enugu. We're also doing the type 2 primary health care, again in the 260 electoral wards. We have a program that we have just initiated working with the local government. It's called the Farm Estate, where we ring fence 200 hectares in each ward, provide them machineries, tractors, implements, inputs, and also ensure that the location is ring fenced and access controlled. So the objective is to scale up our production. And in effect, we're also having the special agro processing zone, which would help us play in the value chain. So we're not just producing and exporting raw, but we're also able to process it. The other thing you will find out here in Enugu State is we respect and understand the principle of the different tiers of government, and that the local government, as recognized by our constitution, is another tier of government, and we ensure that whatever allocation that is meant for the local government gets 100% to the local government. In fact, if anything, we give them more money to support them, because there are areas we know that it may be too much for them to handle. We step in as states to intervene and support them, but it's not the other way around. And that also speaks to the premium we pay to transparency and accountability. And so I want to again welcome you. There are a couple of other things perhaps we may have to discuss outside here. You know that we still have this pending matter which your office is handling, the issue of Enugu State being recognized as an oil-producing state, which your office actually communicated to us sometime in December 2022, that the state, following the report of the interagency technical committee, and I think the bodies that were involved as the interagency committee, we had the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, we have the National Boundary Commission, we also have the Office of the Surveyor General of the Federation, and of course your commission. And they came up with a recommendation that Enugu should be benefiting from the 13% derivation of the Anambra River 1, Anambra River 2, and Anambra River 3. And as yet, we have still not yet, benefited from those fields and those wells. So it is our hope that your office will put the necessary machineries in motion to ensure that we begin to benefit from that. And we're happy to, if there are other things required from us to do or documents to provide, we're more than happy to do so. But we cannot thank you enough. I would urge you not to only work while you're in Enugu, also try and take out time to savor the experience of Enugu, this hospitable experience. And again, our culinary delights, you must make sure you eat abacha and oba, so that you can talk about it. Thank you very much, and once more, welcome to you.
Right. So, after seeing this, what do you think? Well, do well to drop your comment in the comment section. It's a good thing to say. It's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. And of course, my Niger Delta brothers, we love you all, and I think we share the same and common goal. So no need to fight each other over oil or no oil. We are all one. Thank you very much. Do well to drop your comment in the comment section what to think, all right? I'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much, and may God continue to bless you.